Okay, good morning, folks. Making this video today talking about a few things. Most importantly, I guess, would be loyalty. And the loyalty I'm referencing is the loyalty that this old pair of boots has shown me. Now these I received probably 15 or 16 years ago, if I can recall correctly. It had to have been at least that long. From an old friend. They're German-made. I'll butcher the pronunciation, I'm sure. Hanwag, Hanwag. I was told they were German military boots. I can't confirm or deny that, but what I can tell you is I've been wearing them for years around the place. They were used when I got them, and they're literally nearly destroyed now. You can see on there that there's a lot of weathering to the leather. It's pretty cracked up, but they've served me really well. Here recently, while tending to a brush fire out on the place, controlled burn, I had a catastrophic release of the sole on one of them, which I've got right here. And one of the things I thought about doing was taking them down and having them resoled. And they've been such a good pair of boots, they fit comfortably like tennis shoes, really. You know, I mean, that's the way they feel. But as much as I like these old boots, they're just not worth the price that I would have to pay to get them professionally resoled. I mean, there's just not enough left there to mess with that on. I've thought about it, but this day and age, mid this COVID crisis, world corruption that's going on right now, my money would be better spent elsewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt, using some internet methodology that I've come across, to reattach the sole to that boot utilizing this glue, which I happen to have on hand. I've got a little better than half a tube of it there, which it's kind of like a contact cement, and according to the sources that I've read on, works pretty good for reattaching rubber soles to leather insoles, which is what we have on this boot. It's a leather strap bottom there, which hopefully will rebond using some of that contact cement and being clamped into place for a sufficient curing period. I'm going to utilize some of this this industrial strength shoe solvent here to clean the surface with. This is available at many fine retailers, but this one here came from Walmart. It's about $2. Not endorsing or recommending that anybody else utilize brake part cleaner to clean everything else with, but I do with limited success. So with that being said, I'm going to work on cleaning up the bottom of the shoe, and we'll move forward. Okay, so I've scratched off all the excess glue, and I have sprayed down the inside and the outside of this loose boot sole with brake cleaner to remove any dirt and oil from the surface, as well as, bear with me here, I've done the same to the bottom of the boot here. And now it's going to take a little while to let them dry. As if you can't tell, we're dealing with about 100% humidity here in East Texas today. Okay, so I've let about an hour pass since I sprayed these down with brake cleaner. They're good and dry. I was able to get most of the rest of that adhesive that was in the middle of it off after that. And here in just a minute, I'm going to put on a rubber glove and apply the contact cement to the bottom of the shoe so that I can prepare for the mating of the surfaces. Now again, this is the glue that I'm using. I'm using it because I already had it from another project, which it worked well on. If you read here, it says You apply directly to the surfaces to be bonded. For non-porous surfaces, apply adhesive, mate surfaces together, pull apart for 5 minutes, then remate surfaces permanently. I'm not entirely sure that the leather bottom on that boot counts as a non-porous surface, but that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so if y'all will refrain from making fun of my David Freiberger shorts, I'm going to attempt to get what's left of this contact adhesive on the bottom of this boot and smear it around so that we can work with it. I had to do a momentary modification to the end of this tube. Fortunately, we're going to be using what's left of it, so it's not a big deal. But we'll get a healthy coating of this globbed out on the bottom of the shoe. Let's go with that for now. And then we'll commence to rubbing it around to ensure that we've got product applied to the entire bottom surface of this boot. Alright, now I've got the entire bottom surface of this boot covered in contact cement, and I'm going to, off camera because I've only got 2 hands, apply the sole to it and then peel it off so that the glue is mated to both surfaces. So now I've got the 2 surfaces coated pretty well. I'm going to let it sit up for a couple of minutes and then I'm going to stick them together. Alright, so living in the greater Houston area does provide some benefits, and one of those is being so close to the resources of the aerospace community. You know, I mean, there's so many brilliant minds at work here that I figured I could reach out and find the advice I would need for a manner of reattaching the sole that would be consistent with the Space Administration. And well, basically what we came up with was something a little short of that, but I think it's going to work. I've got the sole pulled down in every angle imaginable to the body of the boot with some of this high-speed, low-drag bonding adhesive strap, which hopefully will be removable in a couple of days and will allow us to properly secure this sole back onto the boot. I hear a rooster back there trying to steal my limelight on this video, and I don't know quite what to think of that. One more thing I'll point out, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I did fill the boot full of socks earlier so that it would maintain its shape while I was yanking on it with all of these attachment devices that I've got strung on here. But anyway, until I get the time for this to cure and all this tape off of here, I guess we just got to sit back and wait. And as an afterthought and a secondary measure, I've got a piece of this no-seam polycord rope here, and aggressively wrapped the parts of the boot that I could to provide increased pressure to aid the tape in holding the outsole to the insole for a uniform bond. I don't know if it's going to help any at all. I really don't. I'm kind of at a loss with it, really, but hopefully it will. We'll see. Alright, so the sun has set and risen again since we wrapped this boot up to cure. So I'm going to work on getting the rope and then all that duct tape off of there, and we'll see what kind of shape we're in underneath. Well, there you have it, and while there's quite a bit of glue and duct tape residue left behind, it appears to be a good solid bond. I've wiggled it back and forth quite a bit, and I haven't noticed any tearing away or that. And like I said, I've had fairly good success with this particular product. of an adhesive in a similar repair in the past. And so I wanted to make this to document my efforts to get a few more miles out of this nice old pair of boots. I mean, they might not look like much, but they work real good for around here on the property, and they protect you from snakes and things that we have around here. So I'm anxious to see how they hold up, and I will keep you informed. As always, thanks for watching. God bless.